Hey you guys, I'm very excited for this video because I am going to be tapping and scratching a bit. Not too much scratching, mostly tapping due to the nature of the, fragility of a gingerbread house. But yeah, tapping on this gingerbread house. And just simply describing it to you. So I hope that you enjoy. The other day on Instagram, I showed you guys the pieces of candies and gingerbread and frosting that were going to be used to make it. And so I wanted to show you guys the finished product. I make a gingerbread house almost every year because it's really fun. I enjoy it thoroughly. There's something about getting like little balls of all the different candies out, and you just get to have fun and be creative, and I love it. So I decided to take my graham crackers and create a square base. And again, I just purchased graham crackers and like a vanilla frosting. It's not very expensive, and I had a lot of these candies left over from the Halloween video. I saved them for this, and then I also just often have gummy bears, which is what I used on the roof. And I got to put kind of all these different candies together. So yeah, I started with the square base, here, and I got that to be a bit steady. You kind of want to get it to maybe try just a tiny bit before you add on a roof like this, because as you can see, there's no actual like architectural support going on in terms of the roof. I can't really show you inside, but I did see how I have these kind of flaps coming out here. That's to support the walls, and I actually have those on the inside as well, just to support the walls from falling down or anything. And this actually, the roof really stayed up just fine somehow. I will say most years portions of my gingerbread house collapse, but for some reason this year it didn't, so I'm getting to make a video. So I propped 4 different graham crackers up, 2 and 2, and put frosting on the top bit here and on the bottom. And once all of that had dried, kind of the foundation if you will, I went ahead and I started to put the candy on. And I started with these little orange Tootsie Rolls. I put 2 on each corner of the house. There's 2 on the back here. I'll turn it in a bit. And then I had these like lemon drops. What are these called? I can't remember the actual name. Lemon heads. The giant lemon heads. And they came in like single packages at Halloween. Some of the candy I used was also just from Halloween that the twins had gotten and their parents didn't want them to eat. Or was just leftover. We had like good amount of candy, so these 4 were here, so they kind of look like little light posts of some sort, just were cute. So I stacked 2 orange Tootsie Rolls and a lemon head on the top of both, and did the same back here. I love lemon heads. I mean, I did when I was little. I don't think I could eat one now, to be honest, even though I love lemon. Just the amount of sugar would destroy me, I think. wouldn't go well with my body. I have an issue with like my blood sugar, where it can go too low, not too high. It's not diabetes, but it's called reactive hypoglycemia, and so can't just down one of these. I have to be a bit careful when I eat sugar to eat lots of protein prior to and after. Okay, so on the supporting edge here, I'll turn so you can see what I did. I put one piece of gingerbread, not gingerbread, I just use graham cracker, but some people do use gingerbread for this, of course. So I did the graham cracker there so that it would support this wall. And then I took these Tootsie Rolls, the like big Tootsie Rolls, and I lined the graham cracker so that it would just give it that more support. And I put some gumdrops on top of these first two. I couldn't put one on the third because it would touch the roof. So I did a green and kind of a pink colour here. And yeah, I had tons of different kinds of Tootsie Rolls, so I got to use them for different purposes. So the big fat one I used here is like a little tree. That's what this is supposed to be, with a little greenery and star on top, is what I was going for. The proportions are not there, I get it, but yeah, and then I repeated the same wall over here, the graham cracker, the 3 bits of Tootsie Roll. Those are the big, like, chunky pieces, as opposed to the long, thin ones that I used on the roof. And then again a green and a pink, just attached with some frosting. And then on the front wall and back wall, I took starbursts, and I did like an alternating of pink and red, basically, as I went to do the wall. Kind of a checkered pattern of sorts. I'll flip it around so you can see the back as well. And yeah, I use like a piece of cardboard as the base, and I cover it with aluminum foil. So just take it like an Amazon box, the flap, cut it off, and I wrap aluminum foil over it, and I tape the bottoms of the foil and the underside, and that way you can kind of build on a surface that's covered. So this is the back side. It looks the same as the front. I'm not usually very symmetrical, so this is probably a bit different design for me. Usually that's not my go-to, like in my brain. I don't really design things symmetrically, usually. So, because the tree almost got knocked over. Yeah, so this is a bit different for me, because it's actually quite symmetrical, but I liked it. So then comes the, well, I'll start here since I'm already kind of in the vicinity. I made it, I don't know, can you guys tell what that is? It's a bit harder maybe from the front. I think it looks a bit decent from the top. It's supposed to be a little campfire. So there are the logs going this way and that I've used Tootsie Rolls to create. And then I've taken different coloured Skittles and M&Ms in yellow, orange, red, and kind of a pinkish colour, more pink-orange, to create like the flames at the top. Maybe at the end of this video, not maybe, I'll just do it. At the end of this video, I will do an aerial view for you. So there's the Tootsie Rolls and the Skittles and M&Ms making the campfire. Because, you know, usually there's campfires on your lawn, right? And then, okay, now I'll show you the roof. So, I did a line of Tootsie Rolls, and these are the long, thin ones. They kind of have some grooves in them sometimes. had to use scissors to just cut so one full one would fit, and then the second one I would cut in half to kind of fit the remainder of the portion here. And some are longer than others, so I had to cut them accordingly to kind of fit. And then intermittently I did a row of gummy bears. So I did reds, greens, yellows, oranges, and then repeated that the other way: orange, yellow, green and red. So the gummy bears have dried now, so it's nice because they get that nice scratchy sound. If you like the sound of the gummy bears, believe it or not, I do have a video with making sounds with gummy bears, like a whole tray of gummy bears. I'm trying to think of if I did it just by itself or if it was in that group. I did like for 70,000 subscribers, I did like your 7 favourite things, and I know that in that video I used the gummy bears, and then it might have been in another video prior to that with like, I don't know, 10 unique sounds with the gummy bears. I have it in a few videos, but I know for sure it's in the 70,000 celebration video. Whole tray of gummy bears, like big baking dish full of them. Okay, and then you can see that it's exactly, well, not exactly, but it's symmetrical. It's the same on the other side. So again, 4 lines of Tootsie Rolls, and then reds, greens, yellows and oranges coming in to the centre of the roof. And I'll pull it back a bit, but at the top I put gumdrops going red, orange, yellow. At the very top. Had I had more time I probably would have done here too, but I left these sides blank. But that's nice, you can hear the graham cracker. And you can see that this is technically the back, because I did leave the back of these graham crackers plain as well. This tree is going to get destroyed at some point here. So, yeah, maybe when I do the aerial at the end, I'll show you the supports that I put on the inside. Do any of you guys do this at Christmas time? Make gingerbread houses with graham crackers and frosting? Or do you use gingerbread? Or you can purchase like kits. They have them at Costco and Trader Joe's and all over the place, so that you just kind of purchase it all in one. I tend to just get the cheapest box of graham crackers, the cheapest frosting, and then usually, most years, I'll buy from Dollar Tree. They have packs of dollar, different kinds of candies for $1. And so I'll get like Nerds, gumdrops, M&M's, Skittles, maybe some candy canes and Lifesavers. So I end up spending about maybe like $10 to $15. But the great thing about that is like 2 or 3 people can make them from that amount, whereas when you purchase a packet, you're probably going to pay 15 to 20, and it's just from one house. But multiple people can make it together. But it's kind of like you can't be as creative. They usually come with like a set structure, whereas with these you can build whatever you want. So every year it's different. And I like that more, but I bet some people really like the packet more. I have found that you learn a lot about people's personalities when you do gingerbread houses together. I have two people in my life who are very creative, but also maybe more perfectionist, in the sense that it was really hard for them when they first did gingerbread houses because they couldn't handle like the reality that it could fall down, or that they weren't doing a perfect job, or it wasn't looking good as someone else, looking as good as someone else's or something. And so it really stressed them out, which I've told you that, guys, that before. If you've been with my channel for a bit, I've done like videos showing you all the items I use for the gingerbread houses, and I'm pretty sure I told you about this. It's quite funny that these people were like stressed out making gingerbread houses, and I was like falling on the floor laughing because we're literally sitting there building things with candy and frosting and crackers. In my head, I don't know how you take that so seriously. It's super just funny and playful, and you know, it's totally fine if it falls over, it's just for fun. Literally, it's going to be thrown in the trash within like 2 weeks, so or a month maybe. But for them, it was like literally one of them never did it again. We tried it once. It was so stressful. He came with tools. It was the cutest thing in the world. He came with tools to like carve his graham crackers properly and stuff. It was like he was epic about it. He'd done some research, but it was just too stressful for him. So he never did it again with us. The other was slightly same response the first time, but then did eventually start to kind of enjoy it and mainly because this person figured out kind of how to do it, where it wouldn't fall, what frosting to use, also did some research and kind of found out how to do it where it wouldn't fail, and then proceeded to really enjoy it from then on out. So if you're a perfectionist, I suggest you do some research and find some really, really good holding frosting. So get like Betty Crocker or something, some really thick frosting. Don't make it from home, because I sometimes make it from home and it's not as strong, according to some people. It's true, it's not as strong. There may have been a year when we had to break out some peanut butter because the icing was not strong enough. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Mine typically have some form of failure going on and do fall apart. But I guess the benefit to my personality is I just don't care that it falls apart. So it works out for me. It works out. I think it's very funny when it falls apart. Okay, so let me give you guys the aerial version. Okay, you guys, so here's the top, and you can kind of see that inside I do have 2 pieces of graham cracker that are holding up the structure a bit. I have learned over the years, and so I was hoping that from above you could see that that does look a bit more like a campfire, maybe, I don't know. And there's the little tree and the roof you can kind of see on the inside there. Bit of a problem if it rains or snows, but that's okay. So there it is. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. I hope it was a bit relaxing and kind of fun for you as well. And I hope to see you next time.